Plateau State government declares 24-hour curfew in Mangu after fresh unrest. Fire razes 34 GSM shops in Yobe, destroys 150 million worth property. Federal Capital Territory Administration activates Emergency Operations Center to tackle possible outbreak of Lassa fever. And on the foreign scene, Gaza's health ministry says 2 medical facilities under Israeli siege in Khan Yunis. Hello and welcome to the Trust TV News Update at this hour. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for joining us. And on the news in full, Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau State has imposed 24-hour curfew on the Mangu local government area of the state, with immediate effect following the deteriorating security situation within the area. In a press statement, a spokesperson for the governor, Gang Barre, said the decision was taken after consultations with relevant security agencies to avoid breakdown of law and order in the local government area. Barre said citizens, especially Mangu residents, are enjoined to comply with the sit-at-home order, while only persons on essential duties are allowed to move within the local government area until further notice. The governor lamented that some people are still determined to create an atmosphere of insecurity in the state, despite government's efforts to end activities of terrorist elements. He also sympathized with families of the victims and the injured, assuring that government will not relent in ensuring lasting peace in the state. He promised that the curfew would be reviewed as soon as security situation improves in the locality. Earlier, we spoke to Musa Ashom's Commissioner of Information and Communication, Plateau State.
In the past, when these things happen, you do not see anything like aerial surveillance. You can see that we have had some level of improvement. Watching from the spokesperson of the Nigerian Police Force here on the Plateau, PPRO, you could see that even when he was giving you his last statements, he was heading to the chopper so that they will be moving to Mangu, and Mangu is not far from Barikil Ladi, is not far from Bokos and Riom, because we had asked that we need aerial surveillance. But the best thing that our people will want is a situation whereby in the first place, we attack them. So we want to empathize and sympathize with our people over this Dastard Act. As a government, this is not good for us. As a people, this is not fair. So as a government, we will continue to work hard to protect our people, to protect their properties, and of course, to take care of their welfare and to dish out dividends of democracy. It's quite pathetic and unfortunate that 2 days after the Thanksgiving service that we had in Jos, where all Plateau sons and daughters came to give God all the glory, to give thanks to God for what he has done for us by giving us His Excellency, Mr. Caleb Manasseh Mutfwang, that we're waking up today with this incident. But a curfew has been imposed on Mangu with the intention of curtailing this pogrom and insurgency. And we pray and hope that security agencies will redouble their efforts. The way they deploy people for political election seasons, we pray that they will do more, because there's insecurity already, and we hope that it will be curtailed beforehand.
Okay, you have stated how perhaps uncomfortable this curfew may be, although the government having the best interest of the people at heart. Now, the 24-hour curfew is now in effect. Is the government considering an extension, and what are the determining factors here?
Once our people can go about their business is normal. It's not our intention to impose curfews on our communities, because once you do that, you curtail economic activities. Once you do that, you stop the people from enjoying certain rights and freedoms. But in their own interest, that is why we have imposed this curfew. So when the security agencies give us the right briefings, they give us the right intelligence, we'll review it. It's only but natural. It's not in our place. It's not in our interest to impose curfew on peace-loving Nigerians. Once there's peace, don't hear us impose any curfew. It's because there's our peace has been tampered with. That is why the governor, in his deep thoughts, decided to impose a curfew on Mangu. But you know that we said those that give essential services are even free to go about their normal businesses when they have valid ID cards, so that security agencies can allow them go about their businesses.
Okay.
But for now, there is a curfew imposed on Mangu.
So curfew extension or not is based on security agencies' briefs. Now, earlier today, the ousted PDP lawmakers stormed the Assembly building to take part in parliamentary proceedings, despite being sacked by the appeal court. What is the position of the administration on this particular matter?
You know, we don't want to interfere with the House. The House is an independent arm. And, you know, our governor is a lawyer, not a judge and bail one. A lawyer that has over 3 decades experience, and they are an independent body, and I do not speak for them. They have people that are eminently qualified to do so. So allow them to sort themselves out, and once they sort themselves out, we'll be ready to work with them. And like I said, we do not speak for the House of Assembly. They have their spokesperson, they have the way they do their stuff, they have their modus operandi, and it's not the same with ours, even though we're in the same state. Once that is sorted out, we're going to work in synergy, in tandem, to dish out the dividends of democracy to our people, the people that voted for us, the peace-loving Plateau people. So the House of Assembly matter is going to be sorted out by that independent arm. So we do not interfere in their matters.
Musa Ashoms there, Commissioner of Information and Communication, Plateau State. Meanwhile, the 16 ousted Plateau PDP lawmakers of the State Assembly forcefully entered the old government house on Tuesday, the scheduled venue for the plenary. Despite a Court of Appeal judgment nullifying their elections, which cited their party's lack of structure as grounds for disqualification, the sacked PDP lawmakers vowed to reclaim their seats. They argued that the Supreme Court's affirmation of Governor Motfuang's election indicated their continued authenticity as members of the House. Trustee Ves Adomusa has more on the story.
Accompanied by fervent supporters, the sacked lawmakers insisted on entering the plenary venue. Although initially barred, they were eventually granted access, having concluded today's sitting before entering. Addressing journalists post-plenary, Speaker Gabriel Dawen explained the position of the House over the unfolding event.
Well, for now, I'm not a law interpreter. As you know, we are lawmakers, but I'm in receipt of a court process that is in place. So for now, there's nothing as an assembly we can say, because as law-abiding lawmakers, we allow the institution saddled with responsibility of interpretation of the law to interpret the law. So at due cost, we will feed the public with the next line of action. But for now, we have 8 House of Assembly members who are in place until the determination of the court process.
Spokesperson Isha Kumaren also conveyed the position of the 16 sacked PDP lawmakers.
We are satisfied and convinced with the position of the Right Honorable Speaker. As you are aware, we are law-abiding citizens of this country and this state. And we are lawmakers, we are not supposed to be lawbreakers. And as you can see, we coordinate ourselves, we are harmonious in our approach, and we are cordial. And by that, we agree absolutely with the position of the leadership of the Plateau State House of Assembly, and we abide by that.
Trust TV reported the absence of any of the 16 APC lawmakers at the plenary, with the House taking a clear stance in the political battle. The state residents await the court's interpretation of the status of both the embattled APC and PDP lawmakers. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Away from Plateau State, the Ogun State House of Assembly has impeached its Speaker, Olakunle Oluomo. This development, which transpired on Tuesday morning, unfolded through a simple majority decision within the Assembly. Sources close to the matter revealed that Daisy Elemide, a member representing Odeida constituency, has stepped into the role of Speaker, effectively replacing Oluomo. The roots of this power shift trace back to a previous contest between Elemide and Oluomo, in which the latter emerged victorious due to the perceived backing of the executive. The Assembly complex reportedly descended into chaos, with tensions escalating to the point of tear gas being deployed to disperse the agitated crowd. The removal of Oluomo signifies a significant shake-up in the political landscape of Ogun State.
We are law-abiding legislators, and that is why you have not seen violence all this while. We have our rules and orders in the House, and it gives us, both the standing order and the Constitution gives us the right to elect our Speaker. The Speaker is not in any way higher than members. He's just a first among equal. And whoever the members says is their Speaker is their Speaker. And that is what was demonstrated this afternoon. We just want to pass it to the whole world that there has been a change in the leadership of this honorable House. And at least 18 out of 26 members have unanimously signed, supported, and picked me to be their new Speaker. I am not their boss. I am only the one that will speak for them to guide their interest, protect their interest.
It has no correlation. You can see what we have achieved today. Both members of the ruling party and opposition came together to rescue the state. So the entire members of opposition fully participated in this change of leadership, and we take full responsibility of the whole thing as it unfolded.
And now to more political matters. Ahead of the by-elections scheduled to take place on the 3rd of February 2023, the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu and the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, have assured the Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, and Nigerians of adequate security that will guarantee free and fair elections. They gave the assurance during INEC's meeting with members of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security ahead of the February 3rd by-elections. Noel Sampson was present at the meeting and now reports.
The INEC chairman, who highlighted the importance of the by-elections, enjoined security agencies to ensure that adequate security measures are put in place to guarantee a free, fair and acceptable poll. Also hinted on the Commission's preparation for the off-cycle elections coming up this year in Edo and Odo states.
Your task as members of XS is to ensure security for the elections. For this reason, the Commission has already provided to the Nigerian Police Force, and in particular the Inspector General of Police, the full information on the locations where the elections will be held, broken down by states, local government areas, registration areas or wards, and polling units. Arising from the reports we received from the states, concerns have been expressed about the impact of the prevailing insecurity in some states on the conduct of the elections, made worse by incendiary statements by some political actors. We will present such concerns and reports to this meeting for appropriate security response. The Commission has also released the timetable and schedule of activities for the 2 off-cycle governorship elections in Edo State, scheduled for 21st September 2024, and Ondo State, holding on 16th November 2024.
The representative of the National Security Advisor and the IG of Police restated their commitment to provide a conducive environment for the elections.
The Office of the National Security Advisor and security agencies under the platform of ICES will sustain collaboration with INEC to ensure that elections are conducted in a secure and peaceful environment.
As a lead agency in election management, will be providing security alongside with other security agencies for this election. We are aware of the challenges associated with the conduct of isolated elections, and I want to assure Nigerians that we are on top of the situation.
The by-elections will be held on Saturday, 3rd February 2024 across 9 states of the Federation, covering 2 senatorial districts, 4 federal constituencies, and 3 state constituencies. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And on to a sad development, a fire outbreak on Tuesday morning destroyed 34 shops at the GSM market in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital, with goods worth 150 million naira razed. The incident reportedly happened at Abeshawa ward around 4 a.m. before it was controlled by firefighters. The state chairman of GSM Market and Parts, Malami Ali, who confirmed the incident, said the cause of the fire remains unknown as the shop where the fire started has no electrical connection but solar power. Chairman of the Harmonized Traders Association in Damaturu local government area, Ali Sharif, said the fire spread to other shops as a result of a faulty firefighter truck. The public relations officer of Yobe State Police Command, DSP Dungus Abdul Karim, in a statement confirmed that over 30 shops were completely burnt, adding, however, that no life was lost nor injury sustained. The Independent and Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission on Tuesday said the present fake certificate scandal rocking the education sector in the country is evidence of how bad the rot has eaten deep into Nigeria's system. The chairman of the ICPC, Musa Aliyu, who stated this in Abuja during the inauguration of 30 students' anti-corruption clubs in both public and private secondary schools in the Federal Capital Territory, said youth are agents of change the nation desperately needs in the fight against corruption. Aliyu, a senior advocate of Nigeria, called on the students in both secondary and tertiary institutions to be whistleblowers by reporting instances of corruption to relevant authorities and to ICPC, adding that by exposing wrongdoings, they will become catalysts for change, accountability, and transparency. The ICPC chairman said the establishment of the Students' Anti-Corruption Clubs was to signify the need for collective action in combating corruption from the roots, starting with the future leaders. A deputy director, FCT Department of Science and Technology and Innovation, Yassim Bako, said the fight against corruption was the battle that must be won. The head of Clubs and Society, FCT Secondary Education Board, Itam Neoi, appreciated the partnership with the ICPC to instill anti-corruption values in the students, adding that the partnership was already yielding results as some students were already disengaging themselves in carrying out anti-corruption activities in their schools. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Still ahead, we'll take a look at emergency health operations as it has taken place to tackle Lassa fever outbreak in Abuja. More news when we return. Do stay. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying. If you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. Here is a look at a recap of some of our top stories. We told you that Plateau State government declares 24-hour curfew in Mangu after fresh unrest. Plus, fire razes 34 GSM shops in Yobe, destroys 150 million worth property. Now to more news. The ongoing strike in Abuja Area Council is still ongoing due to the non-implementation of a 40% allowance, pension deduction, statutory deductions, and other rights and privileges as outlined by the National Union of Local Government Employees in the Federal Capital Territory. Representatives of the union in Buari Area Council have expressed their continued pursuit in an effort to address their concerns. However, faced with minimal progress and apparent disregard for their appeals, the union say it has been compelled to take drastic steps, initiating a strike.
We have exhausted every possible means at pressing home our demands to the authorities, but to no avail. So we are left with no option than to resort to this strike action in order to press home our very sensitive demands, which include no implementation of our 40% peculiar allowance, 35,000 naira wage award, other rights and privileges, including adjusted cohens and cohens, as approved by the federal government.
In health, the Federal Capital Territory Administration has activated an emergency operations center as part of measures to arrest a possible outbreak of Lassa fever in the nation's capital. This follows concerns over the resurgence of the disease after 2 cases were confirmed in the FCT. Years after Nigeria recorded its first outbreak of Lassa fever, efforts to contain the disease remain a major challenge. As a result of that challenge, the country is seeing a surge in the number of recorded cases, with a total of 486 cases identified across the country. Out of these cases, 134 have been confirmed, resulting in 21 tragic fatalities as of January 22, according to the Health Ministry. The rise in the number of infections has alarmed health authorities, prompting the need for urgent measures to be taken to contain the spread of the disease. Health authorities emphasize the importance of early detection and seeking prompt medical attention for anyone showing symptoms associated with the disease.
It's a viral disease. We call it a viral hemorrhagic disease, meaning that it causes bleeding disorders. You can just start bleeding from every orifice, vomiting blood, passing of blood, blood from the nose, blood from the ear, when it is not treated. It is caused by the Lassa virus. It has been reported in other countries like Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia as endemic, meaning that it is there. Nigeria is fast approaching that endemic situation, with some states called hotspots where they see it regularly. Annually, the FCT experiences sporadic infections between November and April. So this is the period we expect, and we are ready for this surge. However, because of our proactiveness, not waiting for it to happen, we are able to nip it in the bud by having only 2 cases so far, and we have not reported any death in the FCT.
The Lassa virus is spread through contact with food or household items contaminated with rodent urine or feces. Symptoms include fever, weakness, and bleeding. While authorities are closely monitoring the outbreak and striving to curtail its impact on the population, citizens are urged to maintain strict hygiene practices, ensure proper food storage, and waste disposal to mitigate the risk of Lassa fever transmission. We'll take it away from Nigeria now. The Israeli army has laid siege to 2 medical facilities in Khan Yunis in the southern Gaza Strip, Palestinian health authorities said on Tuesday. The Israeli occupation places Nasser Medical Complex and Al-Amal Hospital in Khan Yunis in extreme danger, Health Ministry spokesman Ashraf Al-Qudra said in a statement. He called for protecting innocent people, patients and medical staff at the two facilities and facilitating ambulance dispatches to them. The Palestinian Red Crescent Society said early Tuesday that its headquarters near Al-Amal Hospital came under Israeli fire, resulting in injuries among displaced people. Israel launched a deadly offensive on the Gaza Strip following a cross-border attack by Hamas on October 7, killing at least 25,490 Palestinians and injuring 63,354. Nearly 1,200 Israelis are believed to have been killed in the Hamas attack. The Israeli onslaught has left 85% of Gaza's population internally displaced amid acute shortages of food, clean water and medicine, while 60% of the enclave's infrastructure has been damaged or destroyed, according to the United Nations. And that brings us to the end of the news update at this hour. But remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs and documentary. I'm Aisha Salihu. Thanks for your time.